I went to a couple of flea markets again. I'm always trying to find something to draw, but lately it's been really hard to find anything interesting. I did see an old familiar face from my earlier flea market video. I like to think that when he moves, he makes loud vacuum noises. And I'll never stop loving all the unique art pieces I come across, because this is still better than anything AI could ever make. This Chase from Paw Patrol was super cute. Honestly, I'm a little sad I didn't buy him, but I thought I would leave him for a real hardcore fan. If you've never seen the video Sticky Body Dub, stop watching this and go watch it right now, because the euphoria I felt when I saw this legendary product in the wild for the first time in my life, it was like holding a f***ing Philosopher's Stone in my hand.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow!
This old caterpillar toy was cursed AF, but relatable. I just wasn't feeling it. These hedgehog twins were super cool, and I almost bought them, but didn't. I don't know, I guess I've just become way too picky. I also saw an old childhood friend in rough shape. It was really sad to see that life has treated him so badly. So I was ready to give up, but then I found these free plastic Tupperware animals and I just loved them right away. They are do-it-yourself toys from the 60s or 70s that you can take apart and mix together to build different weird animals. So here they are, and this is the full set. The giraffe is my favorite. I think she's just like super cool. I just think she's neat. So I played around with them, and in the end there aren't that many different options, but it's still a fun concept. I wanted to draw them as anime characters and turn this into a new VHS project. Last time I drew the summer Hikaru died, and it was so much fun. So I wanted to keep making these, and I think these three would fit perfectly into some weird 80s, 90s anime series. In this old Tupperware ad, they were giving different names like Eledok Araf, Doc Arafant. But I wanted to give them my own name, and since these are made by Tupperware, I just changed the word Tupper to Pupper. Then I combined that with Fant and Raff, so together they became Pupperfantraff. I am just a genius. So yeah, Tupperware is an old American brand that makes plastic containers for food, storage, transport, and so on. When I was a kid, all my friends' moms used to have these Tupperware parties to sell the products, I think. I don't know what the fuck was going on at those parties, or if that's even still a thing, but back in 2001 it was. So I started building this cover and the plot around like the whole Tupperware thing. My idea was that these three characters would live in a city called Tupper, where everything is made of plastic, like the buildings, roads. Like all the characters who live in the city would obviously be plastic too. Basically everything is just plastic. Very eco-friendly, not fucked up at all. But you know, that's how it is. That's what's going to happen when we're all overflowing with microplastics. And these three can combine with each other, you know, like the Power Rangers. And they have many different forms, and each of those forms could have different abilities or magical powers or something. And I decided to go with this one. The elephant head doesn't stay on there. Unfortunately, you can't attach all three heads together at the same time, which kinda sucks ass, because I thought that was the whole point, but I guess not. So I started once again by scrolling through pictures of old anime VHS tapes. Simple designs are always my favorite. I took a lot of inspiration from like Sandy Bell, Silver Fang, and Rumbo, and I had no idea there was a Rumbo anime. Like that was completely new to me. And I wanted these to have the same kind of feeling as when as a kid you watched some really weird cartoon that no one else remembers, and you're like 100% sure you saw it when you were little, multiple times even, but you just can't prove it. Maybe you just imagined the whole thing, maybe it was just a fever dream, you know what I mean? This would be exactly that kind of cartoon. And a lot of those like forgotten cartoons are actually really good. For example, Alfred J. Kwok is a classic I grew up with, like many Finns did, but it's still pretty unknown and underrated. And that show is incredible. So with this I wanted to mimic 80s anime style like Unico, Ringing Bell, Sailor Moon, and maybe a bit of Akira. This wouldn't really be a show meant for small kids. I think for teens and young adults maybe. I love how dark Ringing Bell is. It's an excellent anime. So maybe something like that. This would definitely include like very serious themes, but at the same time it would still be really whimsical and colorful. Actually, one of my favorite things about old cartoon VHS covers, DVDs too sometimes, but especially VHS, is that they often give a completely different impression of what's actually inside. When I was 5 or 6 years old and everyone was watching Silverfang, those covers are like, oh, it's a cute dog anime. Oh, look at the little boy and a dog. And then you actually watch it and it's just blood and violence. And it was fucking amazing. And same thing with Watership Down. Oh, cute little bunnies. And that's exactly what I wanted with this. I tried to make the front cover cute, cheerful, and colorful. Like if you pick these to watch based on the cover only, you might expect some Teletubbies, and then there would be decapitation. Okay, maybe not. But you know, it would be dark. My favorite part is drawing those small preview images for the back. You actually have to think about what should be shown, what kind of mood they give. And now that this is my own like made up idea, it was obviously much easier since they can basically be anything. I don't really have a proper plot planned for this. I feel like a duffer. But the first idea was that the sun starts heating up too much and gradually melts the city and everyone in it. So basically kills them. Nice. And these three have to stop it. How? I have no idea. They have magical girl powers, so anything's possible, I guess. That's why I wanted to include the sun in one of the preview images. This is my favorite of all the pictures I drew. I really love how it turned out, like the colors, and it really gives that vintage anime vibe. And about this yellow creature, I saw a picture online of a yellow Tupperware container that looked like it had a mouth, so I drew him based on that. I thought it was funny. I think all the residents would be based on actual Tupperware products, and also all the buildings could be made out of them, because Tupperware has so many different items, like weird items, cool looking items you could use to design futuristic buildings. And now I kind of regret not drawing them in the background. The hardest part was coming up with the text, like the back cover text, because it felt really hard to write something in English in a way that sounds believable and not just awkward. But on the other hand, it's fine because old cartoons often have really simple and slightly awkward back cover descriptions. I wrote the text in Finnish first and then just literally translated it word for word into English and hoped for the best. And I wanted the plot and the description to sound super cheesy and cliche. It mentions the importance of friendship and superpowers and like just the usual stuff. Filled with adventure and decapitation and blood and melting bodies. So this is what it looks like. This is volume 1, by the way. So there's more. It includes 2 very exciting episodes, and it's from 1989 because I was born in 89. And one little detail I added to Hikaru as well is the small Emimi video label. That's cute, I think. And of course I wanted to make a physical version like last time. I used my own printer again, and after some fun struggles and like dozen different versions, that piece of shit finally agreed to print properly. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. I used high quality photo paper and it came out super crisp. All the colors are good, like it looks authentic and real. I made 2 copies, and like last time, both have working tapes inside where I recorded a little message, and I even signed them this time. So I'm going to drop these off at random recycling centers in Finland in the free items section for someone to find. So if you happen to find one, take a picture and tag me. His face kind of reminds me of the Beaches meme. I hope you like this. Tell me what you think. Is this something you would watch? Who would be your favorite character? What kind of personalities would they have? You don't even have to come up with a ship name for them because it's already there. So yeah, this was a slightly different kind of flea market video this time. I'm sure I'll make more of these once people start selling all kinds of weird crap again, which I can then find and draw for your pleasure. I did find these fake Furbies last September. It was honestly such a good find because I collect fake Furbies. So this was probably the best find last year. And I made a quick drawing of them. I'll put it here. I fell in love with all of them, especially the little purple one with the attitude. So yeah, these are pretty much the only things I found at flea markets lately. Just look at this fucking crap. I am drowning in this crap. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see wholesome Furby Junji Ito content, check out my last video. As always, stay adorable guys, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!